Jim, first off, I just want to ask you about the atmosphere in the arena. It just looked electric. It came across on television fantastic. What was it like being there?
Well, you being a huge soccer fan, you would know better than me. It was more like a soccer event in a hockey rink, standing room at both ends of the rink.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end where most of the noise was coming from, the chanting, the drums, the flag waving. Not to say the people in the middle of the ice didn't cheer, but it was much louder than an NHL game, except in the playoffs. I mean, obviously when the Oilers were in the playoffs 2 years ago, it was very loud too. But they don't go through the ritual as they do in Germany of, when players are introduced, it's number, first name, and then everybody yells out the guy's last name, whether that's Draisaitl or McDavid or whomever. And I'd seen that before in Dusseldorf back in 1990, and it caught me off guard. But I think it's great. I think it shows that the fans know who the players are.
I want to ask you about Mikko Koskinen getting the start. I talked to Cam Talbot before we left, and he wasn't sure whether or not he was going to get the start. He said he was going to practice on the big ice a couple of times. He's kind of lukewarm on the idea. I guess obviously Cam Talbot decided it was better off to go watch this game than to play in it.
Well, for Koskinen, who has played internationally in the KHL on a big ice service, it wasn't that much of a move back from the NHL to the big. And if Cam Talbot's going to be starting the next game in Sweden on a small ice, an NHL regulation size rink that they've reconfigured with the boards and such, he didn't need to be playing this game. And Koskinen needed the game, and I thought he actually played quite well. The goals they scored on him, I don't think he was going to be stopping. They were good goals. So, unlike some of the other games he's played in the preseason in North America, I thought he looked much sharper today. And like I said, the goals that Cologne scored were good goals.
Now Lucic scored. How good is that for him, just to get the confidence wise, and how does he look, do you think, going into the regular season now?
Well, he looks a little better. He's starting to score those goals that he didn't score last year from the places he usually scores them from. That was a nice give and go with Connor, and he got the puck right on his tape and slammed it home. So he looks better. He needs to get a good start in the first month. He needs to score 4 or 5 goals. And then once you score 4 or 5 goals and you get into November, you're thinking, okay, there's 6 months season, and I can get 20 to 25.
Yeah.
Goes through the first month and doesn't have any, then it's the same old as last year. And he's probably thinking, now what do I do? And I thought it was interesting. I thought Leon Draisaitl was really good early. And as the game wore on, it was almost like the whole weight of 18,400 people watching every move you make was starting to get to him. But very fitting that the first Oiler goal was Draisaitl the reader. And
yeah, definitely.
It was part of the script, and they scored. And then the introduction where all the fans in the building yelled out Draisaitl, and he's usually pretty stoic, but he had a smile on his face when that was happening. So, he realizes that he's only going to get this one time to be an Oiler playing in Cologne.